We are living in an era infected by a beautiful but deeply dangerous delusion. It is a poison disguised as a cure. It is sold to us in best-selling books, shouted at us from seminar stages, and constantly broadcasted on every screen we own. This delusion is called positive thinking. From the moment we are born into this modern world, we are instructed to look only on the bright side. We are told to manifest our dreams, to aggressively banish negative thoughts, and to visualize only our ultimate success. We are fed the narcissistic fantasy that if we simply believe good things will happen, the entire universe will magically bend to our desires. But look at the terrifying consequences of this philosophy. Look at the fragility of the modern mind. We have raised a generation of individuals who are entirely incapable of handling cold, hard reality. When a relentless positive thinker faces a sudden, inevitable tragedy, when they are fired from their job, when they are betrayed by someone they deeply love, or when a devastating illness strikes, they do not just suffer. They shatter into a million pieces. They look up at the sky in complete disbelief, utterly crushed and deeply offended by a universe that did not play by their imaginary rules. They were promised a smooth ocean, and when the violent storm inevitably arrives, they have no anchor, no shelter, and absolutely no armor. The ancient Stoics looked at the world differently. They understood a dark, profound psychological truth that the modern self-help industry desperately refuses to acknowledge. Hope and relentless optimism do not build strength. They build extreme fragility. 2,000 years ago, philosophers like Seneca, Epictetus, and the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius did not wake up and visualize a perfect, harmonious day. They did the exact opposite. They practiced a terrifying and brutal mental exercise known as Premeditatio Malorum, the premeditation of evils. To the modern ear, trained by cheap motivation, this sounds like a recipe for severe depression. Why would anyone willingly imagine disaster? Why would you invite darkness into your mind before the sun has even fully risen? But Premeditatio Malorum is not about creating anxiety. It is about emotional inoculation. Think about how a vaccine works. A doctor introduces a small, dead piece of a dangerous virus into your bloodstream. It is not enough to kill you, but it is enough to teach your immune system how to fight. The Stoic does the exact same thing with his mind. He introduces small, controlled doses of psychological pain and tragedy into his thoughts to build an impenetrable emotional immune system. Listen to the words of Seneca, written to his friend centuries ago. What is quite unlooked for is more crushing in its effect, and unexpectedness adds to the weight of a disaster. This is a reason for ensuring that nothing ever takes us by surprise. We should project our thoughts ahead of us at every turn and have in mind every possible eventuality instead of only the usual course of events. Seneca is telling you to look at your life right now. Look at your comfortable home, your bank account, your career, your health, and the people you love. Now, forcefully and vividly, imagine losing every single piece of it. Imagine the global market crashing and your hard-earned wealth turning to absolute dust in a matter of hours. Imagine your reputation being destroyed by a false rumor that everyone believes. Imagine the person you trust most in this world looking you dead in the eyes and betraying you without a second thought. Imagine a doctor walking into a cold, sterile white room to tell you that the test results are bad, and you only have 6 months left to live. Most people will violently reject this exercise. They will say it is morbid, toxic, and cynical. They will frantically try to push the thoughts away, terrified by the superstitious belief that merely thinking about tragedy will somehow attract it into their lives. But the universe does not care about your positive vibrations. Tragedy does not require a polite invitation. It will come for you whether you are smiling or crying, whether you are fully prepared or completely blind. There is a massive difference between anxiety and the Stoic premeditation of evil. Anxiety is chaotic. It is the feeling of being a helpless victim, paralyzed by the fear of the unknown. Anxiety whispers that the future is going to destroy you, but Premeditatio Malorum is highly structured, logical, and empowering. When you refuse to think about the worst-case scenario, you give it absolute power over you. It becomes a monster hiding in the dark corner of your mind, constantly generating a low-level, subconscious panic that poisons your daily life. You spend all your energy trying to maintain a fake smile while secretly running from shadows. But when you drag that monster into the light, when you look it dead in the eye and ruthlessly examine it, something miraculous happens. Its power completely evaporates. You realize that while losing your job would be incredibly difficult, you would not die. You would adapt, you would find another way to survive. You realize that while a bitter betrayal would break your heart, your soul would eventually heal, and you would become wiser. You realize that even if everything external is violently stripped away from you, you still possess the one thing that truly matters: your own character, your own mind, and your sovereign ability to choose how you respond. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man on the planet, began every single morning with this exact practice. He wrote in his private journal, "Begin the morning by saying to thyself, I shall meet with the busybody, the ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, unsocial." He did not hope for people to be good, he expected them to be terrible. And because he expected it, he was never angered by it. The Stoic who expects betrayal is never truly betrayed. He merely observes human nature acting exactly as he anticipated. The Stoic who expects financial ruin is never crushed by poverty. He greets it as an old sparring partner he has been preparing to fight for years. When you actively expect the worst, you completely strip the universe of its ability to shock you. You remove the weapon of surprise from the hands of fate. You become emotionally invincible. Furthermore, the modern lie of positive thinking completely destroys our ability to appreciate the present moment. When you are constantly focused on manifesting a bigger, better, brighter future, you take today for granted. You look at your health, your family, and your quiet moments of peace, and your greedy mind says, "This is fine, but tomorrow will be much better." You live your entire life in a state of permanent dissatisfaction, always chasing a horizon that keeps moving away. But consider the man who practices the premeditation of evils. When he wakes up in the morning, he reminds himself that he is completely mortal. He reminds himself that the people he loves are mortal, and that they are only on loan to him from the universe. He knows, with absolute certainty, that this could be the very last time he drinks a warm cup of coffee. It could be the last time he feels the morning sun on his face. It could be the last time he hears the voice of a friend. By meditating deeply on the loss of these things, he does not become sad or depressed. He becomes radically, overwhelmingly grateful. The simple food he eats tastes incredible. The conversations he has are profound and present. The minor annoyances of daily life, the traffic jam, the rude stranger, the delayed flight suddenly seem incredibly insignificant. Why would he waste his limited, precious heartbeats being angry about a slow line at the grocery store when he knows he is dancing on the edge of the abyss? Negative visualization is the ultimate cheat code for human happiness. It forces you to realize that you are already living in a state of immense wealth that you simply forgot to appreciate. It violently returns you to the present moment with a burning, undeniable intensity.